Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Mindset Project podcast, the podcast that gives you the tools to develop an elite physical and mental performance and gives you that daily dose of positivity. Using my own knowledge as a competitive swimmer and from different professionals, I hope to provide an experience which makes you think differently about the things around you and promote some sort of personal growth. I hope to connect you through evidence-based information from experts in their field. So with that, I would like to say, I hope you're doing well, staying fit and staying safe. So let's get on to it. Okay, so the next technique which I use is something I call the Superman, and again it is very simple, but it is such a good one to use and you can do it anywhere and anytime basically. So this one was recommended by my own psychologist, and when he told me how to do it, I thought he was actually being really ridiculous because it just sounded really stupid. So basically what you do is you just stand up tall and you put your hands up in the air with your fists clenched. Essentially you are imitating the Superman pose, and it sounds very simple, but I guarantee you it will make you feel a lot better. And with this technique as well, the benefits you'll see instantly. It's not like visualization where you kind of have to practice it to get it right. So I think part of the reason it makes you feel better, at least for me personally, is that it does kind of make you look like an idiot, if I'm honest, and that's kind of the fun part. So try it now if you want. If you're on a bus listening to this, or in the supermarket, or if you're in a car driving, don't do it because that's dangerous. But if you're in any of these places, I dare you to do it, because if you do things out of your comfort zone, then this will help you build your confidence. We'll definitely do an episode specifically on confidence and building confidence, but because I've kind of touched on it just now, I think one of the things to build confidence is to put yourself out your comfort zone and do things that kind of people might think are, I don't know, wacky. If you dye your hair pink, for example, then obviously that makes you stand out, but it also makes you makes you more confident because you're able to kind of accept that you've done something different. That's really what confidence is at the end of the day. It's just a really strong sense of self-belief, and if you can do these sort of things that make you stand out, then obviously that's going to start building up confidence. So let's get back onto this episode's topic. And one of the reasons this technique is used by psychologists is because there was a blind runner. Now I can't exactly remember what his name was, and that's going to really annoy me, but at the end of his race he did this Superman pose, and obviously that sort of stance, hands up in the air, fist clenched, is kind of a sense of victory. You'll see this with Olympians and top level athletes, footballers. Once they score a goal or they do something that's kind of victorious, they'll normally put their hands up in the air, fist clenched, yes, I've done this. And people watch this runner, and obviously I think he must have run the race. I can't remember if he did or not, but they looked at this runner and was how on earth did he know how to do that? Because obviously he's blind, so he's never seen that pose done before, so how would he know that was a sign of victory? You know what I mean? So what they did was they actually got scientists to look into this, and they actually found that this pose actually increases the production of feel-good hormones and also reduces levels of the stress hormone cortisol, which we've discussed multiple times in this podcast. And I personally have used this technique for over 3 years, maybe since 2017, and I've used it every day since, and I would not look back. It's such a good technique, and like I said earlier, you see the benefits very quickly. It's not one of these techniques where you kind of have to practice and practice for it to work. And similarly, I can't say that word. So similarly to visualization, I normally do this before each training session, either in the gym or in the swimming pool, and this just gets me psyched up before the session and kind of makes me feel I've won before I've done the session, if that makes sense, you know what I mean? And it's helped me a lot control my performance anxiety, and like I said, part of the reason I think it works for me is that sometimes it makes you feel like an idiot. especially when you're standing in a room on your own pretending that you're Superman. And in terms of like duration, or like how long I do this, is normally like 2 minutes, so that's actually quite a long time when you do it. Your arms sometimes do get quite sore having to like hold them up for such a long period of time, but sometimes you can just kind of like keep your hands up there and just fling them about sometimes. But yeah, it just really depends like how long you want to do it. I mean, you might only do it for like 1 minute and see the benefits, but as long as you can kind of feel a little bit more confident, then that's when you know it's like worked. And a lot of people know me would probably agree that I'm completely like wacky and mad, but if you're always serious about life, then how can you actually have a laugh and see the funnier side of things, right? That's like one of the main kind of messages of this podcast, is trying to like change your perspective and always look at the positives. Like, there's no point looking at the negative things, always look at the positives, always. And actually, when I've been editing these episodes and listening to them back, I actually sound like I'm really chilled and relaxed, when in real life I'm actually not. Like, I just have like so much energy, and I think during this pandemic that's probably one of the things I've struggled with, because swimming's kind of like my release to burn off that energy, but because I've not had that, I've just been bouncing off the walls, to use a phrase. So yeah, like I'm always looking for like really crazy and wacky ways to improve my mindset and performance, and this one's a really good one. I think for me, like the more wacky they are, because obviously they're going to make you laugh and you're going to remember them and they're going to make you feel good, especially if they do make you laugh to some sort of extent, because laughing produces so many good feel-good hormones, and that's basically what it comes down to. So I'm not saying that like this technique is for people who are crazy and wacky like me, but it is for everyone, and even if you are like more chilled and relaxed, then it's also like it's going to be like good for you. So, and I think this is similar to when people have like, they class them as power poses. So obviously having good posture makes you feel more confident. Having an open body language also makes you like appear more confident as well. And I think if you appear more confident, then people will start to see you as more confident. It's kind of like fake it till you make it sort of thing. And I think as well, you can read a lot about a person by their body language, and especially with the sort of body language they have, they can kind of give off like a certain energy or a vibe. And if someone's like fidgeting and with their hands, for example, it might be a sign of anxiety or nervousness. And obviously if you're like watching someone give a presentation who is fidgeting or appears to be nervous, then that's going to make you uncomfortable as well as a viewer. So body language is like a very, like, I could say, important component of confidence, I guess you could say. And this technique, the Superman, is, I would class it as body posture in a sense, because I often associate this with people who are like elite athletes and top of their game. So like if we do it ourselves, then that gives us more confidence, because we kind of associate it with that elite performance, that like a win or the victory. It's almost like we're kind of, presenting ourselves as this winner, as this victorious person, as this confident person, as like elite athletes are. And that's all I really have to say on that technique, if I'm honest. Like, it's very simple. It works instantly, like I've said quite a few times, and it is one of my favourites to use because of its simplicity. So that is like the end of this episode. It is a very short one, but I hope you enjoyed it. And this is a very interesting technique, and I recommend everyone that's listening to try it, because it is really effective, and it is simple and just makes you feel good. And this is what this podcast is all about, giving you the tools through techniques and different perspectives to get the most out of life and just enjoy the journey that is life. Like, one of the things you'll start to realise about me is that I'm not very serious in the slightest. Like, I always try to see the positives in different situations, because why would we want to dampen our energy levels by surrounding ourselves with negative energy? Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't really want to be like surrounding ourselves around negativity. So that is the episode on the Superman pose. I know I said it would be uploaded during the week, but I have been quite busy with like my uni work and different assignments coming up. So I have just needed like a few days off just to kind of like recover my brain, because it feels like it's absolutely fried with online learning, but you know, we've got to keep going and push on. So with that, I say stay fit, stay safe, and I shall see you on the next one.